Welcome, welcome. It's Olivia, your girl. We're going to talk today about how can we incorporate other websites into the Nearpod tool. So I'm going to focus on three particular programs that I can easily integrate into my Nearpod lesson, but also we can take websites, just any website, and integrate it also if we just want students to search on the web. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is just create a lesson, and I am just going to create a lesson from scratch so that I have the opportunity to plug in some different web content. Because basically, you can integrate any website into a Nearpod lesson by just getting the URL and inserting it so that students don't have to go to copy something off your board. You end up not spending a lot of time wasting time, them getting lost, them using Google search versus going to the URL and seamlessly keeping everyone in one place without feeling like they're going to different places. So I'm just going to always like to have titles. So this is going to be web activities that I am going to focus on. So I'm going to click on add content and activities. It is considered content even if it is linked to an activity because Nearpod doesn't know what you're using. So they're just going to say web content. So if you notice, you're just going to copy the URL. Now, also want to let you know I have my book out, Beginner's Guide to Nearpod, a tool for transforming virtual teaching in K-12. It's on Kindle, it's on audiobook, and it's on paperback. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to copy this URL here at the top, and I'm going to put it right in my Nearpod. And I love the fact that you can test your link to make sure that you haven't put a period in it, so that you know that it's linking to the content that you want it to link to. So that's the first one. I'm going to save it. And then it's going to be in my Nearpod lesson. And I'm going to do this for the other three resources I want to show you. And then we are going to launch it to see how would it look for a student. So you'll see here at the bottom, it says Amazon. So that website is there. Now, another place I like to create from is something called Thinklink. I love Thinklinks because basically it's other websites or other resources you can put all on one website. And if you want more tutorials on Thinklink, please just leave it in the comment section and I can make some. So here I have a Thinklink on a rubric. Teaching a lesson to a training to some teachers, and we were learning how to use a rubric. And it's taking a little minute to load here. Let's repost it. Let's see. Let it reload. Technology. Okay, there we go. It's coming. So if you notice, anything that kind of pops is actually a link. And with ThinkLink, you can do so many things. You can type your content. Students can use MS Reader in order to translate it into different languages. You can add audio. It's just a real way to really add accommodations and add scaffolds within an activity. So I'm going to go right here. How a rubric clarifies expectations. This is actually a video. So this is a short video. You can give a little title. And if you notice here, you have the little box here. This will basically take it and allow it to be read to the students. It just takes a little minute. I have a lot of things going on. And on the right, this is where you can basically change the font. You can make it different preferences. You have your reading preferences. Do you want to focus on line by line, or do you want to see the whole thing? And then you can choose a language if you want to get it translated. So if you have students who are ELL students and you put things in ThinkLink, my goodness, it's just going to make everything come to life. And again, this is offered through Microsoft, which is a great tool for translating items and helping, even with grammar. You can even highlight certain things. Maybe you want them to focus on nouns, and now they can read it and see it in color. So I love that Microsoft has made this tool available, and it's also available in Thinklink. And then they would click on the video, and then it would take them to this YouTube video. But all of this is from Thinklink. And so instead of having multiple websites, I have everything positioned in one place. And you notice at the top, there's a share button. And I'm going to get the link here. This is my link. I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to go back to my Nearpod presentation. Again, this is considered content, so I would click under web content. I'm going to Control V. I can test it. Sometimes the links might say refuse to connect. Sometimes it's browsers or things at a school district that prevent it. So if that happens, then I have to email it out or post it on a website. But a lot of times it doesn't happen, but if it does happen, just know that. And sometimes you might have a pop-up blocker. And if you see a little red dot at the top, this means that there's a pop-up blocker because it comes up as like a pop-up. You have to basically enable it so that it can also connect. That was the only thing that I've seen with some of these links that I bring in when I'm doing trainings. And so again, this is rubric. So my Thinklink is here. Great. So I got I got a website. I want people to think about Beginner's Guide to Nearpod. Then I have my rubrics for a project that I'm going to do with my students. And I want them to be able to have some resources and have some examples. But now I might want to do something fun. I might want to do some type of fun activity. One of my other favorite sites is Wordwall. So many things you can do in Wordwall, but I'm just going to focus on this game show quiz that I came across because they have a lot of things already in the community, and you can basically go in and edit it and customize it. But for this one, I'm not customizing it. Each activity will always have a share button underneath it to the right. You click share and you just copy the link. I'm just copying the link. I'm going to go back to my Nearpod, and I am going to add this website to my Nearpod lesson because I want the students. Afterwards, I might want them to take a little game show quiz on rubrics or take a game show quiz on something they learned from the lesson, and I can easily integrate it into my Nearpod. And I think I pressed the wrong button, so let's go back. I think I ended up pressing slides by accident. We're going to go back and we're going to click on web content instead. There we go. And then I'm Control. And again, I can test this link by testing it, but for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to say save. Okay. And last but not least, okay, so Thinklink, regular website, Wordwall, any other tool you might already be using. I know a lot of teachers like Gizmo. So you might have a Gizmo integrated into your Nearpod. So there's tons of websites we can look at. The other thing, maybe you are Google Classroom or you use Google Docs, Google Slides. You want students to be able to collaborate on something in real time. So again, instead of them going somewhere else, they can stay right in the Nearpod. So I have a Google Docs up. I had my students write a letter, and I made a template of the letter. And then they went in, made a copy of the letter. And then once they made a copy, they could type their letter by themselves or with a partner, and then come and provide the link for me in this Google Docs so that other students, when we get ready to do peer review, they can come in and click on the link and give each other feedback when I have them in small groups. If you want to know how to do that, I can create another tutorial. It's awesome. It's simple, but it just requires a little planning beforehand. So I have all of these Google Docs here, but how did I get them to put it here? I created this Google Docs, and I just said, hey, put your name and put your link and post your information here. And so I can go to share here at the top, and I'm going to get the link to this quote unquote template. I haven't had them put their names in yet, but I can take this template, put it in my Nearpod lesson, and they could be working on real time on their documents and then paste it right in real time in the Nearpod lesson, and everyone sees it. And then quickly I can put them in groups, and then they can do the peer review. So there's just one example. I have several other examples. So here I'm going to go to the bottom. Anyone on the internet with this link can view. I'm going to change it to anyone can edit, because they won't be able to paste their name or URL if they don't have editing privileges. And then I'm just going to press copy the link. So this probably is about the hardest part, is making sure you give them the right privileges. Otherwise, they're only going to be able to make comments. And then after everyone's finished, you can go back and change this link so that it's only everyone can view it. So no one can go in and copy and paste and mess things up. So I'm going to say done. I'm going to go back to my Nearpod lesson. I'm going to add this content. I just feel like this is like the coolest thing about Nearpod, is being able to integrate resources and tools I already feel comfortable with as an educator. And then I can go to the Nearpod library, find lessons that are already created, customize them, throw in my custom activities to meet the needs of my students. And then voila, I'm engaging my students and I am giving them rigor also at the same time. So I added that. I'm going to say save. So I'm good to go. I got my activities. I have them all in one place. So let's go ahead and save and exit. And then we are just going to launch this. Maybe I'll launch it at student pace. Maybe I want them to go through it at their own pace. I can do it that way, or I can launch it as a live class. So let's just launch it live so you can kind of see how it would look if I was doing this with a group of students in front of me. So I'm going to click on live participation and it would generate the code. I will give the students the code or a link to the Nearpod lesson, or if you have Canva or Google Classroom, you could easily post the link there and they just click on it when they log in. So everyone's logged in, they have the code. Bam. The first thing, because I didn't put an intro slide, is I put this. And what it does is gives you like an image of it, but you need to click on it and it actually opens up another little window. So the students will still be able to navigate to the Nearpod lesson, but then that other window is open for them to do whatever activity you want them to do. And so then we're going to go to the next page. And again, I told you sometimes this comes up. I'm not quite sure why it comes up, but if it does, it just comes up mostly for Thinklink for some reason. I don't know what it is. Now, this one didn't give me a red thing up here at the top. But what I do is sometimes I refresh. Sometimes I change my browser too, because sometimes it happens more so in Chrome than Firefox. And if that doesn't work, I will just give them the link directly. So I knew it was going to happen, and here it is happening. So I can, let me see something here. I'm not going to be able to do that right now, but I would try to change my browser. And if not, I would just give them the link directly, because every now and then it just does some funky stuff for some reason. And I'm still trying to work that out. But here's my word wall. Again, it shows you an image of the word wall. And then you click directly on it. Then it opens up the website for the students to work on it. And then you just press the little start button, and they could work on it individually as a little quiz to test their knowledge. This is on Matter. This is so cool though. I love this. And then you can make it bigger. If you're on your board, you can make it bigger, finish the sentence. And bam, they get their feedback. So I love Wordwall. Again, I can create some more tutorials on how to customize some things, but a lot of things you don't have to customize because so many teachers have already created things in Wordwall. All you need to do is go in and change a few things versus making something from scratch. Okay, so we've done that. And then last but not least, I want students to post links and put their name for work they're doing in a Google Docs. And I can also have the link to the template right here, like the letter I want them to write. I might have the basic criteria, and then at the top I say make a copy of this, and then post your link here. So everyone is just on one page. And then once they click on the link, they'll be able to open up another page on their screen. So this person has closed this off. So, and they have to make sure they give you permission to look at it, because if they don't give you permission, you'll get that request access button that I got earlier. So my friends, at the end of the day, our lesson is finished. We didn't have to leave Nearpod, and all of our activities were in one place, which made the learning and the timing and the transition easier and less frustrating for not only you, but also your students. And we kept them engaged by offering them a variety of things right within the Nearpod lesson. So, again, I hope this has been helpful. If you want to learn more about how to create amazing and engaging lessons using Nearpod, you can go to my website at fearlesseducator.net, and at the top, click on online course to learn more. Have a great week.